Welcome to Shelf Life, the monthly feature where I look at games I played or reviewed on the channel in the past months and let you know whether they're staying in my collection. For this month's episode, we're looking at games I covered at the end of last year into January of this year. And on that note, we're getting a little bit closer with the videos than I'm comfortable with the amount of space since I covered the game, so I'm going to take next month off and let a little bit of breathing room happen. But no time for breathing now, because we're going to get straight into the list and see which of these games had shelf life. We're starting with Pax Pamir 2nd Edition, a game where 1 to 3 players vie for control and dominance in 19th century Afghanistan. Pax Pamir is designed by Cole Whirl, who also designed Root, one of my favorite games of all time, so am I keeping it just like I'm keeping Root? You better believe I am. Pax Pamir was one of the toughest ones on the list this month because I haven't played it since last November. I've just been kept up with newer games. So I played it a few times this week just to refresh my memory, and man, is this game amazing. The tense card play and tableau building, the crazy shifting alliances, and the devious solo player by Ricky Royal that just wrecks you sometimes. It's awesome. I still haven't gotten to play Pax Pamir multiplayer as many times as I would like, but solo is great on its own, and man, I look forward to getting some 2 and 3 player games in the future. Number 2 is a game I had a lot of fun with last year from Simon. It's Cthulhu, Death May Die. Arkham Horror the card game is one of my top games of all time. Does Cthulhu, Death May Die measure up? It's good, but certainly not that good. This is another one I wrestled with because I gave my copy to Peter and he's been holding on to it and has even bought some expansions for it. But the question I had to ask myself is, if he wanted to give it back to me, would I want to keep it? And eventually I came down on the argument of no. I still like a lot about the game. The components are beautiful. I love the melding of the great old one and the episode you're playing and the variety in the episodes. It reminds me of Final Girl, one of my favorite games so far this year. But even with that theoretical variety in episodes and great old ones, I still found the more I played the game, the more it felt fairly repetitive, especially the ending. Once you're trying to hunt down the boss, it felt like the same thing over and over, basically. So it's still a good game, still one I would be happy to play, but at least for me, I don't have to have it in my collection. Next is one of the big releases from Chip Theory Games, a mix of MOBA and tower defense. It's Cloudspire. I did a video for the recently concluded Cloudspire Kickstarter and said I loved the game. Was that all a lie? Was I just trying to get you to buy it? No, come on, this game is fantastic. I said it in my recent video, and I'll say it again. Cloudspire is not for everyone. It's expensive, some people won't like having to learn all the keywords for each faction, some people won't like that the minions feel kind of out of their control, they might feel like the game goes too long, there's a lot of things that might bug you. But for me, the great variety in competitive and solo and co-op play, the amazing differences between factions and how much fun it is to dig into each one, the great tactical choices as you shift the battlefield and build defenses, it is delicious and I want to play it more and more. I mean, it's really becoming one of my favorite games of all time. Number 4 is a solo-only offering, the newly revised edition of Coffee Roaster. I don't drink coffee, but did I want to drink up this game? Yeah, no. Coffee Roaster has the distinguished honor in the Shelf Life contest for this month as being the one that the most people got right because my review was not very positive. It's a fine bag builder, nice to pass the time, and the components are really great, but overall I found it super repetitive and pretty random and just didn't have that much fun. Now I will say, to be fair, I was covering Warp's Edge, which is also a solo bag builder at the same time, and I found that game way more engaging and interesting and tactical than Coffee Roaster, so it certainly suffered in the comparison. It might be better for somebody else than it was for me. Next is certainly one of the most unique games on our list, the solo-only offering from Side Room Games, Black Sonata. Did deducing Shakespeare's Dark Lady get old and dull eventually? Well, not yet. Black Sonata is a quick, fun, and unique game. I really like the simple deduction of trying to figure out where the Dark Lady is moving and, peeking through the little holes in the card to see if she's there or not. It's great fun. But I'll be totally honest that if I didn't have my prototype of the Fair Youth expansion that was kickstarted earlier this year, it would probably get too repetitive for me. But with this, it has a lot of legs, a ton of variants to try out, and I really want to keep playing it and also show it to my wife, who was another English major, and just kind of see how we both enjoy it. So for now, especially since it's small, it's going to stay in my collection. Number 6 is a first for my collection, a Kidz legacy game. We're looking at Zombie Kidz Evolution. So did the game hold on to the fun for me and my son when we finished unlocking everything? No, but it was certainly a blast until then. I have no major complaints about Zombie Kidz Evolution. I think the way they did Legacy is excellent. I think the basic gameplay is just fast enough and simple enough with just a little bit of strategy to be fun for kids and their parents. But me and my son and our extended family played it over 30 times, unlocked every little thing they had in the game, and that was about it. We could play it more, but a lot of the fun for him was opening those envelopes, so he didn't have much interest. But for a game I got for $15, I don't care. It's still a complete recommend. It's just not going to stay around because we aren't going to play it anymore. Next is one many players consider a new classic, Scythe from Stonemaier Games. So is Scythe continuing to stomp and farm its way into my heart? Why, yes it is. I was actually surprised to see a lot of people in the contest voting against Scythe because the entire reason I featured it on the channel and the reason it was on my top solo games of all time list is because I love it. The quick to resolve and easy to adjust automa, the great feeling of building your empire in different ways, the fun of competitive play, and yes, even co-op play with the semi-official rules, and even a campaign system in Rise of Fenris. There is a lot of meaty goodness in here, a lot of awesome empire building, and I really enjoy it. Finally, we've got our last one for this month before we announce our contest winner, and that's Zombicide Invader. Death May Die barely didn't make the cut. Did Zombicide Invader, also from Simon, do any better? It's fun, but it's no Cthulhu Death May Die. I enjoyed Zombicide Invader quite a bit. I think it is by far the best version of the series I've seen, even better than Black Plague, which had been my favorite. But the big thing that knocked it down, at least for me, and at least with the core game, because that's all I played, was how repetitive and dull the missions were. Except for one or two more interesting outliers, they all felt like basically the same thing, rinse and repeat. The difficulty settings didn't seem quite right, and also I never really love in solo controlling that many characters, 6. It's a little bit of a headache. I knew right away that as fun as Invader was, it wasn't as good as Death May Die, and since I'm getting rid of Death May Die, I'm definitely not keeping Invader. So that's it, another episode of Shelf Life. And now the moment that many of you have been waiting for. We had over 130 entrants for our contest this month, and we had two that got all 8 games exactly right. We had a bunch that were close, but only 2 right on. Now, normally with more than one winner, I'd have a die right now, and I'd be rolling off between them, and one of the new rewards for our Patreon supporters would mean those people would get a double entry in the contest if they tied for the win. But this time there was no need, because one of the 2 who hit it dead on said they didn't want to be in the contest. So congrats first to Anthony Stevens. You did an awesome job. So that leaves us with only one winner. Congratulations to John Love. You got all 8, and I'll be sending you an email soon so you can pick which game from my collection you want for free. So like I said, we'll be taking next month off to give some breathing room. I'll probably do a top 20 list or something, but I'll see you in 2 months for more of Shelf Life. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.